Hello Aries, my name is Keith Haswell and I'm a professional astrologer with over 40 years experience in the business now and over 30,000 clients worldwide. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this video on your cycles for November and December 2014. Now we're going to have some fun together here, Aries, to help you to understand a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about the energies and forces that you're dealing with in the world. And I'm going to first of all tell you a few things about your personality and a look at your lifetime conditions and circumstances in your life. And then I'm going to lay things out on a timeline for you over the next 2 months with the movements of the faster moving bodies, the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars, through the houses of your horoscope. And as they move through the houses of your horoscope, they generate certain activities and interests and focus your consciousness upon various parts of your life. And then I'll also look at the slower moving bodies of Jupiter and Saturn, because there's some major things happening in your horoscope in this 2-month period with regard to the movements of Saturn and also Jupiter, Aries. But first of all, I just want to run through a few things with you so that you understand what's going on in the world today. All of us are experiencing pain in the world today. The whole of humanity is predisposed to pain. Why are we predisposed to pain? We're predisposed to pain, Aries, because we refuse to grow through the joy and the wonder and the magnificence of the gifts that God and Goddess have given us in our life. So we choose by default to grow through pain. And so I want to talk with you about a little bit about yourself and what you're made up of. You are a etheric body. Your physical body is only an automaton that clings to the etheric or energy body that interpenetrates it. And you are also an emotional body and a mental body. And in those bodies you have centers, 7 major centers of energy. There's the center at the base of the spine, which is for physical activity. There's the center in the sacral center for sexual expression. There's the solar plexus center for emotional expression. There's the throat center for thinking processes and the conscious mind and communications. There's the heart center, which is for loving. There's the center between the eyes for spiritual will and expression, and there's a center at the top of the head, which is for coordinating all of the other activities of your body. So you've got 7 major centers in your body, Aries, and these centers have a tremendous amount of energy going through them. And these energies are coming to us from the Sun, from the Earth, and from the planets. And these energies enter into our centers through a center between the shoulder blades, which is not one of the major centers, and it then ricochets down to the center at the base of the spine, where it activates our physical activity. If it's not used there, it goes to the sacral center and activates our sexual expression. If it's not used there, it goes to the emotional center and activates our emotions and so forth. So these energies are going through us at an increasing rate now because of world education. World education came into being in 1948 with the founding of the United Nations, and that brought in education as a necessity and worldwide education for all the children of the world. So that became a mandated situation there. And since then, the consciousness of humanity has just expanded exponentially. So we have a tremendous amount of extra energy going through our centers now because of the intelligence that we're expressing in our life and the consciousness that we're experiencing in our life. Now I'm going to pack a lot of stuff in here into this video, so you'll probably have to play it a number of times in order to get the full benefit from it. I will get to your personal things and individual things shortly. But first of all, I just want to help you to understand what's going on in the world. Is your body is made up of all these cells. cells and and these 7 major centers. And you've got all of this energy going through your body, and if these energies are not going through your vehicles, through your centers in a harmonious way, in other words, if there's blockages to the free flow of these energies, then that causes cancer. It causes all sorts of maladies in the physical body. So that's what ill health is all about, Aries. Ill health is caused by the blockages of the free flow of the etheric energies that are coursing through our vehicles. The energies that are coursing through our vehicles are supposed to activate all of the higher centers, the heart center, the throat center for thinking and for loving and for spiritual will and determination and courage and strength and so on and so forth. So all of these things are there for us to be able to choose. But when we choose to wallow in self-pity and fear and anxiety and doubt and insecurity and self-sabotage and self-punishment and anger and shame and so forth, then we're blocking the free flow of these energies, and they cause health problems for us. Now, what's happening in the world today is that I want you to now expand your consciousness to imagine a planetary man. In other words, this planetary man is the totality of humanity here on Earth. And the cells of his body are the human beings, the spirits of the human beings that are on the Earth. Okay, so we've now got a planetary man, and this planetary man has got energies going through his centers exactly the same as we have. And whether you believe in this planetary man or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just using this as a way of explaining what I'm talking about here. So in the body of humanity, we have now an illness. And this illness is caused by the blockages of the energies. The energies are not flowing freely through that planetary man, and so there's the blockages there, and this is causing cancers and so on and so forth there in the body of humanity. And these cancers are expressed through the sacral center in the form of the terrorism of the world, and especially ISIS, and what these terrorists are all motivated by, Aries, is they are motivated by sexual expression. They are all promised, even in their afterlife, they're promised 72 virgins. And so what they are motivated to get into these things because they are able to have as many girls as they want and as much sex as they want with these girls that they hold captive in every single town or village that they go through. So this is all to do with the sacral center, the center there that's to do with the sexual energies. And so that's like a cancer now in the body of humanity. And then we've got Ebola. Ebola is a cancer that's there in the emotional side of humanity. And it's to do with the solar plexus center of this planetary man. So we've got this Ebola thing going on, and this is all to do with humanity's fear, hurt, loneliness, and self-punishment. And this is what all of these things, fear, hurt, loneliness, and self-punishment, are all the blossoms that come from pain. So pain is the seed, and it's also the harvest. So it's hard for you to understand, but I have made a video on pain, ending your pain. And so I refer you to that to get a fuller understanding of what's going on. But this is two cancers that are going on in the body of humanity, now expressing itself as the terrorism of the world and the Ebola crisis. And this is precipitating a lot of pain into the consciousness of humanity. Now you, Aries, because you're watching this video, you are on the crest of the wave of evolution. You are in the top 1.5% of the population of the world. Now that is 100 million people. So it's not as if there's only a dozen of you or something like that. I'm not trying to narrow it down to that. What I'm saying to you is that you are in the Western world and you are on the crest of the wave of evolution because you have lived hundreds of lifetimes and to get where you are today, and you're interested in astrology, you're interested in metaphysics, you're interested in learning and reaching and stretching and growing to become more of who you really are. Now, all of us have consciousness on 4 levels. We have consciousness on the physical level through our etheric body and our physical body. And what we're aiming to achieve there, Aries, is control over the events and conditions of our life. We also have consciousness on the emotional levels. And our goal there is to have a sense of belonging, either belonging to one person in a close relationship, an intimate relationship, or else belonging to some form of group. A sense of belonging is very important there on the emotional level, and that's what we're aiming for there. On the mental level, the aim and the goal is understanding, to have understanding about the nature of reality and our place in that reality, Aries. And the goal on the spiritual levels is to have oneness, a sense of completeness, a sense of wholeness, and a sense of meaning in our life. We look for meaning in our life, and when we start asking the questions inside of ourselves, Aries, is this all there is about life? Is this all that life is all about? Is getting up in the morning and going to work and coming home and accumulating money and having that trip overseas and so forth? Is this all there is to life? You see, that's the spiritual urges within ourselves, to find meaning and purpose and wholeness and unity with our higher self. So that just gives you a little bit of an understanding, Aries, about what's going on in the world today and the pain that's being experienced in the world today through all of these 2 cancers that are afflicting the body of humanity is something that we're going to all have to deal with and to heal. And the way to do that is to expand your understanding and free yourself from the pain. Understanding frees you from the pain. And so what I'll do now is I'll tell you a few things about yourself. You, Aries, are a very energetic type of a person. You are very enthusiastic, you're a fire sign, you've got a lot of enthusiasm for your ideas in life, and you've got the ability, Aries, to commence and start projects and ideas. And you're quite possessive, you have a love of beauty, you love walking around among the plants and shrubs and the beauties of nature. You love luxuries and you like to accumulate wealth. You've got a restless mind, you're capable of communicating very, very well with people, and you communicate quite often using your hands and so forth. So you're very descriptive with your hands in communications. You have many changing interests as far as your thinking processes are concerned, and a wide field of experience in life. You live near the water at some time in your life, Aries, and you're a very home-loving person, very family-oriented, and you probably have a fish tank in the home, or else you have a view of water from home sometime in your life. So this is a lifetime situation that not particularly is it there now. Now, family is very important to you in life, Aries. You like to be the centre of attention in parties and social functions, and you're a good organiser on the social side of life. Any children in your life, which are generally fairly limited, you like to participate in their sporting interests and things like that, and you love to go out to parties and organise and plan these things. In your job, you like to be of service to people, and you could work in the health-related field or in the clerical field or in something to do with food or clothing. At some time in your life, you could work with domestic pets or something like that at some time in your life, or in a health-related field. And you seem to be attracted towards a partner who is a lover of music and artistic things and creative things. You're very deep and intense, highly sexed, very introspective and reflective. and you have relatives who live distantly from you, and you have relatives, in-laws also, who perhaps live distantly from you at some time along the way. Now, you could work in a government job. You gravitate towards positions of responsibility and authority, and you have a lot of unhappiness somehow through one of your parents, as if there's the early death of one of your parents, or some other unhappiness to do with your parents, so they're very strict or controlling and dominating and manipulating and things like that. You go in for unusual group interests, and you have friendships that are formed under very unusual circumstances. And you go in for unusual club activities and things like that as well. So anything that's out of the ordinary is naturally appealing to you, Aries. And you're very psychic and sensitive. You are attracted towards solitude, and you like to think and reflect upon and aspire towards the divine. What I'm going to do for you now, Aries, is I'm going to lay out the movements of these planets through the houses of your horoscope on a timeline. So we'll start with the 1st of November, Aries, and I'll tell you where these four bodies are: the Sun, Mercury, Venus and Mars, where they are on the 1st of the month, and what house that they're sitting in, and what impact that has at the beginning of the month. And then on a timeline, I'll tell you when any of those planets change into a different house of your horoscope, and therefore start activating different interests and different focuses and so forth. So you just sit back, relax, enjoy the journey here with me. Now, to start off on the 1st of November, Aries, you've got the Sun in the 8th house of your horoscope. So you're at the beginning of the month, you're very deep and introspective, reflecting a lot upon things within yourself that you're working on to change and to develop meaning about. Mercury is in the 7th house of your horoscope. There's a lot more communication with in your job, perhaps with the general public. There's a lot more communication with your partner, if you have one, a spouse. And Venus is in the 8th house of your horoscope, so you're starting off the month with a high sex drive, and your partner is probably wanting to spend a lot of money with that sort of a placement. Now, Mars is in the 10th house of your horoscope, so there's potential there with Mars in the 10th house, Aries, for conflicts with parents, conflicts with government departments, arguments and conflicts with people that you work with and are in business with, and can be accidents connected with the job or the career. So there's potential there for injuries to the knees and things like that. Now, the first change that we have, Aries, comes up on the 9th of November, with Mercury moving into the 8th house of your horoscope, beginning a 2 or 3 week cycle of deep introspection and reflection, and trying to find meaning and purpose in your life, bringing about changes within yourself through that thinking processes. And the next one is on the 17th of November, when Venus moves into the 9th house of your horoscope. With Venus in the 9th house of your horoscope, you'll maybe have a good opportunity to travel. You'll have a good opportunity to have social involvements with in-laws and with foreign people. It's a good time for legal matters, and it's a good time for adult education and things like that. On the 23rd of November, Aries, the Sun moves into the 9th house of your horoscope. And with the Sun in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a focus upon expansion. There's a focus upon expansion through adult education, travel, and a lot more dealing socially with in-laws, and a tremendous urge to expand your consciousness and understanding about philosophy and spirituality. On the 28th of November, Aries, Mercury moves into the 9th house of your horoscope, seeing a lot more communications with foreign people, a lot more communications connected with the job, with foreign people, and importers and exporters, and publishers, printers, legal firms and medical firms and things like that. And with Mercury in the 9th house of your horoscope, there's a lot more communications there with in-laws potentially. Now, on the 5th of December, Mars moves into the 11th house of your horoscope, Aries. With Mars in the 11th house of your horoscope, there's conflicts with friends, arguments and conflicts whilst out on group social functions, and there can be accidents involving other people's children, tension and conflict through other people's children, and there's potential there for injuries to the lower part of the legs, like the calves or the ankles. On the 11th of December, Venus moves into the 10th house of your horoscope for a couple of weeks, and that's very, very good for you for career and business matters. It's very good for expansion. It's good for job interviews if you're in the market for a new job. It's a good time for you generally to do with social activities involving parents. On the 17th of December, Aries, Mercury moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and there's a focus at that time upon your ambitions. You'll be keen to get ahead and succeed. You want to take on extra responsibility. There's a lot more communication with government departments, and a lot more communication there potentially with parents if they play a prominent part in your life. On the 22nd of December, the last movement of these bodies, the Sun moves into the 10th house of your horoscope, and it remains there for 30 days. When the Sun is in the 10th house of your horoscope, there's a lot more ambition, a lot more social involvements with parents. Very good stars for you for business and career, and favourable stars generally for the social side of life connected with the career and business and with parents. Now let's look at Jupiter, Aries, to see what Jupiter's up to in your horoscope. On the 1st of November, Jupiter is in the 5th house of your horoscope. So it starts the month off with a lot of happiness through children, good stars to do with the social side of life, potential for travel with Jupiter in the 5th house of your horoscope. A holiday overseas or something like that is a potential. And there's also a tremendous amount of involvements with the children in their education, should you have any children. Now then there's a major development in your horoscope on the 9th of December when Jupiter turns retrograde. Now, planets don't actually go in a backward motion, Aries, but they have an apparent backward motion when the Earth in its rotation around the Sun moves a little bit faster than the other body, and it gives the appearance that the other body is moving backwards. So that's what's called retrograde, and when Jupiter goes retrograde, it impacts negatively upon two other areas of your life, Aries, and that is the 9th house of your horoscope is impacted, so that's going to bring legal problems for you, difficulties with travel plans and things like that. And there can be, it's not a good time for travel with that sort of influence around, and you'll find that plans for adult education and stuff like that have to be put off or obstructed or delayed or things like that. And also it impacts upon the 12th house of your horoscope, so you'll find that you'll have a lot of secret worries about your own ethics, morals, principles and values. So you'll be doing a lot of deep thinking and reflection with Jupiter retrograde impacting upon the 12th house of your horoscope. So you can be your own worst enemy when the 12th house is involved negatively. So you can be down on yourself and self-destructive and having low problems with your self-image and self-esteem and stuff like that. Now let's look at Saturn. Saturn on the 1st of November, and this also is a major development in your life with Saturn. Saturn takes 2.5 years, Aries, to transit through a particular house of our horoscope, and therefore when it makes a change in a house in a 2-month period, it's a major development, and it does so in this particular 2-month period in your horoscope. Now Saturn starts off on the 1st of November in the 8th house of your horoscope, so that means that because it's going to change into the 9th house of your horoscope in this 2-month period, it means that it's already been there in the 8th house for the last 2.5 years. Now what that has meant in the last 2.5 years is that you have had difficulties, Aries, making changes inside of yourself that you deem to be necessary. There's parts of yourself that you're not happy with. There's parts of yourself that you've been trying desperately to get rid of and to transform and to change, and that has been obstructed or held back in some way. So you've had difficulties there, and you've also experienced the death of somebody around you, quite feasibly, with Saturn in the 8th house of your horoscope during the last 2.5 years. Saturn has now moved into the 9th house of your horoscope, and it does so on the 24th of December. So it is moving into the 9th house of your horoscope on the 24th of December, and that remains there then for 2.5 years. Now, when Saturn is in the 9th house of your horoscope, it's not a good time for travel overseas. You'll find delays to plans for travel, planes take off late and all sorts of things like that, and there's unhappiness focusing through an in-law, a death of an in-law or an illness involving an in-law, should they play a prominent part in your life, or a relative who lives distantly from you. And there can be frustrations with any adult education that you're planning as well, Aries. So look, what I'm saying to you now that I've gone through that for you is I just want to wrap up here by saying to you, you are on the crest of the wave of evolution, Aries. You are reaching and stretching to become more of who you really are. You've brought yourself to my website for the particular reason, and to this video for the particular reason that you seek meaning in your life. You're seeking, where am I heading? What am I all about? Who am I? What life is all about? Where am I going? And how can I make my life more successful and so forth? So you're seeking meaning in your life, and you've brought yourself to this video because you are on the crest of the wave of evolution. Now that doesn't mean that you've got to be out there on soapboxes or anything like that, doing lectures to people or creating videos or anything like that to inspire other people or anything like that. The way we bring about change in the world, Aries, in the new age, in this age that we're living through now, is by transforming ourselves. So by transforming ourselves and expanding our own consciousness, we send out a wave of resonant causation out there into the world of human living and thinking that inspires millions of people all over the world who we will never meet. And they are inspired by our energies, by our aspiration, by our determination to become more of who we really are. So the task at hand, Aries, in order to alleviate the pain that's there potentially for you, is to expand your consciousness. Expand your consciousness about what? Expand your consciousness about the nature of reality and your place in that reality. Just because you don't have all the answers, Aries, it doesn't mean that others don't have some answers that can be very helpful for you. So it's important for you to understand that there is purpose and meaning in life, and that you have eternal life, you can never ever die, that God and Goddess love you and know your name, that they've given you the gift of eternal life, and they've given you the power to create all of the events and conditions of your life. Now, if you're in pain, it means that you've chosen to grow through pain, and you can let go of that method of growth. You can expand your consciousness through my CDs. Look, all you've got to do is go to my website, www.mysteryofsirius.com, SIRIUS.com. Submit your birth details through the Your Horoscope page of my website, and my website address is always given in the description of the video, of each of my videos. I've done over 140 videos now in the last 18 months to help you to become more of who you really are on all aspects of personal and spiritual growth. And the feedback that I get from people about those videos is absolutely fantastic, Aries. So subscribe to my videos and go to my website, submit your birth details, and what we'll be able to do for you then is we'll be able to send you your horoscope chart free of charge. Now, what does that do for you? It first of all tells you, you know what your sun sign is, you're Aries, right? We tell you what your rising sign is as well, and that determines what your soul purpose, S-O-U-L, purpose is in life, Aries. So I tell you what your ascendant is or what your rising sign is, and you can then watch the video that's to do with your rising sign as well, and that will give you an understanding of your soul purpose in life or your spiritual objectives in life, whereas the one to do with your sun sign is going to tell you what your personality achievements are in this particular lifetime. But that all has meaning to you, and we not only send you your horoscope chart free of charge, but we send you 12 CDs out of my first book, What Really Matters, a book on astrology, meditation and reincarnation. And in that book, using my voice with those 12 CDs, with beautiful backing music, I take you in and out of meditation time and time again, and expand your consciousness about the nature of reality and your place in that reality, so that you can begin to understand what the purpose and the meaning and the objective and the functions of your life are all about, to help you to understand that God and Goddess have given you all of the properties, all of the qualities and all of the powers of themselves inside of yourself now. Your task, Aries, is to recognize that fact and unfold those powers. And that, dear friend, takes eternity. You've lived hundreds of lives to get where you are today. So you've jumped onto this video now and you've come to my website, and you have done so because you want to grow and reach and stretch and become more of the giant that you truly are. So you're in the top 100 million people on the planet, the top 1.5% of people on the planet, and you found your way to my website. Now look, we all have raw materials, Aries. These raw materials are our attitudes, our beliefs, our thoughts, our feelings, and our decisions and our choices. And those raw materials can be negative or they can be positive. If we're wallowing in self-pity and fear and anxiety and doubt and insecurity and pain and strife and shame and guilt and self-punishment and all these negative things, then what are we going to attract into our life? So the object of the exercise is to transform those attitudes and beliefs and thoughts and feelings so that they prompt positive decisions and choices. And we have 3 tools, Aries. Nobody has any different tools. Everybody's got 3 tools, and they are our desire, our imagination, and our expectancy. And our desire and our imagination and our expectancy, we use those tools to mould and shape our raw materials into the events and conditions of our life. Nobody's doing it to you, Aries. God and Goddess are not up there saying, oh, you've been naughty, so we're going to hit you with a car accident or a bout of ill health or a loss of a job or a breakup in a relationship or some financial crisis or something like that. No. Every single event of your life is created by you. That's the power that God and Goddess have given you. So you've got an opportunity now to learn about how does it all work? How does it all function? What's the meaning and the purpose and the objective of life? And so my 12 CDs, I'll take you in and out of meditation time and time again in those 12 CDs, and they're sent to you when you subscribe and put your horoscope details in through the Your Horoscope page of my website. We send you those 12 CDs free of charge. Now then you can have another horoscope done by me, which is called horoscope number 2, and that's only $10. And for $10 we tell you in 20 pages all about you and you individually. You know what, Aries? There won't be another person born with the same horoscope as you for another 25,000 years. You are quite a unique individual. So what this means is that you've got planets that are in various locations in your horoscope that are not just to do with the sun sign and not just to do with the rising sign. You've got the moon somewhere in the 12 signs of the horoscope and in the 12 houses of the horoscope, and that moon determines your emotional makeup and your emotional tests in life. Mercury rules your mind and determines your mentality. Venus rules your love nature, Mars rules your energy levels and your sex drive, Jupiter rules your higher mind, Saturn rules your practicality and organisational ability, Uranus rules your intuition, Neptune rules your spirituality, and Pluto rules your capacity to transform yourself. Now, you want to know, Aries, where all of these planets are, because they're not going to be in the same location as they were at the time of your birth for another 25,000 years. So we tell you in this 20-page printout where these planets are, what aspects and relationships they form with each other. That tells you whether you're growing or whether you're retarding yourself through negative traits and so on and so forth, where your tests lie in life, in other words. And all of that, a 20-page printout all about you and you alone for only $10. Now, I think that's a damn good deal. And then there's horoscope number 3 that I do, which is my voice, and I record my findings onto a recording, and I send that to you, and I tell you all about yourself, an in-depth analysis of your personality, where your tests lie in life. Now, don't ask me to just tell you all the good things, because I won't do that. I'm an honest astrologer, and I tell you where your tests lie in life and where your failings are and so forth, so that you can grow and reach and stretch and become more of who you really are. So for the going price there, I do your horoscope number 3, which is about 25 minutes on an audio recording sent to you through my website, so you can download that into your computer or into your device, and you can listen to that, and I back it with beautiful music, and I tell you all about yourself and where your tests lie in life and what's coming up in the next few years and what's happened in the last few years. I'll tell you where you've got scars on your body even, and when you've had changes in your residence, changes in your job, journeys overseas, bouts of sickness, accidents, deaths in the family, formation of relationships, breakups of relationships. I tell you all these things. And what impact does that have upon you, Aries? When I tell you all these things about yourself from your past, it has a massive impact upon you, and it gives you the motivation. Yes, this guy knows what he's talking about, and therefore I want to hook on here, and I want to listen to these CDs and see what he's got to say, because he's given them to me free of charge as a gift, to become more of who I really am, to expand my consciousness. So it's nice to have this opportunity to be able to talk with you. Now, subscribe to my videos, because I'm putting out new videos all the time. The videos from 100 to 140 are quite advanced videos, but you'll be able to relate to them because you're on the crest of the wave of evolution, Aries. So it's nice to have this opportunity to talk with you. So subscribe to my videos, go to my website, submit your birth details through the Your Horoscope page of my website. Again, the website address is always given in the description of each of my videos, so you can locate that, no problem. And let's have some fun together, and let's help you to become more of the giant that you truly are. So I thank you for your attentiveness here, and I look forward to working further with you, Aries, should you decide to grow and reach and stretch and become all that you can be and more. Thank you.